Chapter 7. Maintenance Operations. The Gilibrator 3 is designed so that little maintenance is required. However, annual calibration, cleaning, and replacement of the battery pack and replacement of the filter element may be required to ensure years of trouble-free operation. The Gilibrator 3 maintenance may only be performed by an authorized Sensidyne Service Center. For short-term storage, turn off the control unit. If the sample source is still attached, turn it off as well and disconnect it from the base. Any attached output devices, if applicable, should also be disconnected. If the unit is not being used daily, remove the sampling source connection from the fittings. Place the black caps on both the inlet and outlet fittings while not in use. Plug in the battery charger and connect it to the base control unit power port. Recharge the unit 3 hours for next day usage. For long-term storage, if the Gilibrator 3 is not to be used for long periods of time, use the following procedure to keep the unit in proper working order. Disconnect all cables from the base control unit. Place the small black caps on top of the hose barbs to the Gilibrator base. Also, if you're using a second cell, if it's disconnected, make sure you place the large black caps over the inlet and outlet ports for the cell as well. Store the unit indoors. Proper storage temperature should be between 0 and 70 degrees Celsius or 32 to 158 degrees Fahrenheit. Recharge the unit for a minimum of 3 hours prior to the next usage. Battery charging and capacity. This battery system in the Gilibrator 3 takes advantage of a new lithium chemistry known as lithium ferrophosphate. This battery pack is much safer than other lithium chemistries and provides a long service life. Unlike traditional nickel metal hydride battery packs, and much like your laptop or cell phone, the battery capacity measurement is done with a fuel gauge. Therefore, it may need to be reset periodically. If the unit was fully charged and unplugged and powered up, it may not show 99%. To reset this fuel gauge, simply plug the charger back in while the unit is on and wait for it to indicate that the battery is full. The battery capacity will be reset to 100% automatically. The battery runtime is strongly affected by the flow rate, as the actuating valve in the base consumes most of the energy. The LCD backlight is another viable power consumer, so if more runtime is needed, the user should lower the backlight level. Troubleshooting. If the system firmware freezes up, turn off the control base unit and the system will power down in approximately 3 seconds. If pop-up messages frequently appear when starting the flow cell source, the user may have forgotten to reset the cell between starting and stopping their pump. Simply press the cell release button momentarily to reset the system. The system will also display an overflow error, which trips at 110% of the maximum flow range for each cell. If this occurs, again, hit the cell release button momentarily to reset the system. The valve stuck error is tripped if the valve inside the base unit cannot get in position within a certain amount of time. This can happen if the internal pressure drops below 25 inches of water, which is possible when the high flow rates on the outlet port and additional flow restrictions to the inlet port. If the puck becomes stuck inside the flow cell due to moisture aspiration, it must be returned to Sensidyne for service. Direct sunlight on the unit may trigger the internal optical sensors and cause the cell to be reset or produce an inaccurate reading. The Gilibrator 3 is only affected by high-intensity infrared light, so while it can operate outdoors, it should not be done directly in the sunlight and be performed in the shade. This concludes our how-to presentation for the Gilibrator 3. Find more information on this and other Sensidyne Gilian products on our website at www.sensidyne.com. Thank you.